Say it with me, everybody. Jets. Suck, suck, suck. Woo! Before we get into today's video, guys, I just want to give a special shout out to today's sponsors, starting with Gold Fine and Bowles, Lawyers for the Injured. Personal injury, workers' compensation, those are their two things, but any sort of legal advice, they're the people to call. Give them a phone call, 309-673-5144. Tell them we sent you, okay? And I'd also like to shout out SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video as well. Use promo code PlaybookSports on their website to get $20 off your first purchase of $30 or more. Let's get back to the video. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Playbook Sports Podcast. This is Nate coming back at you guys just a few short hours after the Miami Dolphins 34-13 demolition of the New York Jets and old Tim Boyle. Man, crazy game, a lot of back and forth. Defense absolutely came to play. We've got the new Hail Mary on Black Friday, as I'm seeing people call it. I love it. Unbelievable. 27 points scored offensively for this Dolphins team against a very good Jets defense that actually statistically is officially worse than the Dolphins defense, who had 7 sacks today. Hey, Aaron, buddy, don't rush back for this, okay? You don't want any part of playing behind this offensive line right now. It was absolutely no good. The Dolphins defense just flew around the place. And you know what? This win would be so much more fun if Jalen Phillips didn't rupture his Achilles tendon on that play. MetLife Stadium takes another one, man. Unfreaking believable. Do something about that field, because it's not a coincidence that everybody gets hurt on that field, man. Terrible to see that. Genuinely devastated for Jalen Phillips, who had been playing fantastic, got a sack in this game, was up to like 6.5, 7 sacks on the season, was playing awesome across from Bradley Chubb. It is devastating to see him go down for the rest of the year, genuinely. And I feel so bad for the kid. He's an absolute stud. That one hurt. That aside, hard to complain about a 34-13 victory. Very hard to complain about it. Going back to the preview video, talk about the X factors I laid out for this game, and I feel like I did a pretty decent job, honestly. Raheem Mostert was the Dolphins' X factor. 20 carries, 95 yards, 2 touchdowns. The way the game was going to be dictated was who could run the ball effectively, control the time of possession, which Miami did by an absolute country mile, and get in the end zone on the ground and just be the more physical team. This Jets defensive line is a very good defensive line. And Miami had their way with them, man. I mean, and Raheem Mostert was a huge part of it. Great game for him. I will say defensively, the X factor I picked for Miami was David Long Jr. I was off on the player, right position. Jerome Baker had himself a hell of a game, led the team in tackles, had a pick, at least 1 sack, I think. He was all over the field. Great to see out of him in the middle linebacker position. And moving on to the Jets, Breece Hall was their offensive X factor. And I said, whoever runs the ball better wins this football game. Breece Hall had, I want to say, 10 carries. No, their team total had 10 carries for 29 yards, which means obviously Breece Hall didn't do a lot. He had a bunch of catches out of the backfield, at least I think 7, maybe even 8 receptions on the game, which is good. But they couldn't get the run game going at all because the Jets actually did the one thing that I thought with a certainty that there's no way they're going to do. They put the ball in Tim Boyle's hands and said, hey, kid, go win us this football game. And Tim Boyle does what Tim Boyle does, and he lost by 21 points. Sorry, is what it is. Actually had a better touchdown-interception ratio than his career, as he was 3 for 9, 3 touchdowns to 9 interceptions, had 2 picks and 1 touchdown in this game, 1 touchdown coming in garbage time to Garrett Wilson. Defensively, Quinnen Williams was Quinnen Williams. He was disruptive. I want to say our first run play, he was in the backfield for a loss. It's like, yep, there he is. But Connor Williams did a good job. The 2 guards in Eichenberg and Lester Cotton played a good game. No complaints there, but they held the Jets' defensive line in check. We got, I think they only sacked Tua once or twice, getting rid of the ball quick, good run game. That's how you do it. And then you open up the passing game. Fellas, great work. Love to see that. Let's talk about those keys to victory before I just talk through the highlights of the game. But keys to victory I gave. Number 1 was stop the run. I just told you. They ran the ball 10 times for 29 yards. That's it. That's an unbelievable performance from these boys up front. Christian Wilkins, Zach Sealer, Raekwon Davis in the middle. I saw Deshaun Hand getting in on the action. I mean, all of the boys up front were eating against this Jets offensive line, which is what needed to happen. We needed to not let them run the ball and make it easy on Boyle. We had to make them make Tim Boyle beat us, and this is what happens when you do that. Nice job. Second key to a victory was get Jalen Waddle involved. Jalen Waddle today led the team in receiving yards, 8 catches for 114 yards, including cooking Sauce Gardner on a nice go ball from Tua that he dropped right in the bucket. Great play, great catch. Jalen Waddle was balling today. I'm glad when he is going, when we're not trying to force Tyreek Hill to 2,000 yards and we're just letting things happen organically within this offense. That is when this offense is scary. When we go with Raheem Mostert pushing 100, Tyreek Hill 100, Jalen Waddle 100, good luck. Good luck. And you saw the fruits of that labor in this game. Love it. Number 3, I said no turnovers. We had 3 turnovers. Can we figure that shit out, please? I'm tired of a running back fumbling every game, and I'm tired of Tua throwing these picks, man. First pick, unexcusable. It was an out route. The DB read it the whole way. Good play by the DB. Completely read that. Read Barrios like an absolute children's book. I mean, 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, fucking blue fish. Read it and housed it. That was how I thought. I was so pissed. We gave them all the momentum in the world. And then we come back out, and it's like, all right, let's just run the ball and get to half. We're like, no, we can get in field goal range. DJ Reed with a great interception. That one is less on Tua, I would say. Just a really nice play by him to take the ball a little bit thrown behind, but not egregiously. And ultimately, that pick didn't matter because then Javon Holland took the Hail Mary to the house. Christian Wilkins, what a block downfield. I better see that on some offensive line pancake segment this week in the news because he put Breece Hall in the dirt on that block. That was textbook. That needs to be taught to offensive linemen what he did. But either way, we got to figure this shit out on offense and quit turning over the damn ball. It's really frustrating to watch, and we just keep putting our defense in bad situations, and the defense continues to bail us out. Speaking of the defense, number 4 was defense. Carry on. This defense carried the hell on today. My goodness, 7 sacks, 2 picks. This Dolphins defense was the best defense at MetLife Stadium today, without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt. Do I feel bad for the Jets defense? Yes. They were built to play with a lead. Pin the ears back, send 4 to go get them, drop it to coverage, make it easy. They unfortunately do not have an offense to get them the lead, so they are on the field the whole game. That's tough. But this Dolphins defense just continues to make plays, continues to lock people up. It's awesome to watch. It feels so good, especially after the first few weeks. It's like, man, the Dolphins defense is in the lower third of the NFL in every metric, and now they're in the top 10 in every metric. They have continued to ball. You guys know the numbers. I said them in the preview video. I mean, they haven't allowed more than 21 points in 4 straight games on defense. That's incredible. Keep going. And number 5, we ran the damn ball. Thank you, Mike. 37 carries for 167 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground today. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Just own that shit, man. When the offensive line is getting a good push, if we can get a push against this defensive line, there aren't very many we can't get a push against. The Jets had a full defensive line. Their defense was full strength today, minus their nickel corner, Michael Carter. Whatever. They had their full D-line, full linebacking crew, and their full starting 4 defensive backs in both their safeties and top 2 corners. And we smacked them in the mouth on their home field. God, that felt good. I want to get into this and get ahead of this because people are going to say, oh man, Tua had a bad game. Was Tua spectacular? No, he wasn't. 243 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Not spectacular. I'll hand up. Not the best game from Tua. But what is everyone else doing against this Jets defense? That is really a good defense. If they had a good offense, this Jets team would be scary. Unfortunately, Hackett's calling the plays and Tim Boyle's running the show. But Tua, 243, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Well, surely Josh Allen did better than that. Week 1, Josh Allen, 236 yards, less yards, 1 touchdown, same number of touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and a loss. Patrick Mahomes against the Jets defense. Certainly Patrick Mahomes played great. It's Patrick Mahomes. 203 yards, less. 1 touchdown, same. 2 interceptions, same. Well, Jalen Hurts, he's the MVP frontrunner. He had to have played well, right? 280 yards, more yards, 1 touchdown, same number of touchdowns, 3 interceptions, including a game-losing interception, and a loss. Well, Justin Herbert, he's football Jesus. He definitely had to have played well. 136 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. The only quarterback all season long who has truly lit up the New York Jets. And by lit up, like, this was a good game. It was Dak Prescott. When Dak threw for 255 yards and 2 touchdowns. And that's probably the best quarterback performance against this Jets defense all season. Just looking at their numbers, like, they haven't had a single quarterback absolutely ball out against them, except Josh Allen once in the second meeting, and even that was 275, 3 touchdowns, and another interception. So, can't even really hang your hat on that one. I mean, Tua was definitely on par, if not better than all the other quarterbacks who played against this Jets defense. So let's just get ahead of that narrative, okay? Right on. Just a ton of fun to watch. Super excited. Get to enjoy Sunday sweat-free. Just get to hate watch on the Bills and everyone else competing for the top seed in the AFC. Right now, go look at those AFC standings. Dolphins number 1, baby. Great game. Great win, Miami. I'm going to enjoy the weekend. Well done. And we get ready for Washington. Get healthy. Jalen Phillips, Javon Holland, stay healthy. Teron Armstead, get better. Man, we had so many guys go down with injury. I hate playing at MetLife Stadium because everybody gets fucking hurt. It's so frustrating. But at the end of the day, win's a win. Fins up, baby.